With Porsche Center Calgary, and I'm here today with a very exciting piece of pre-owned inventory. This is a 2024 718 Cayman GT4RS. Long name for a very impressive car. For quite a while, Porsche has produced the 911 GT3RS, which is kind of the most racetrack ready focused version of a 911. Makes a lot of sacrifices in terms of day-to-day use in order to really hone it in on just strictly lap times and as much performance as they can put in a street legal car. So for many years, the kind of Porsche faithful have waited and asked and pleaded for Porsche to do the same thing with the Cayman platform, with the mid-engine cars, and they finally have. And it's pretty cool to finally be standing next to one. It's been, rumored and talked about for a long time. We weren't sure they were ever going to actually make it, but they finally did, though they didn't make very many. So it's, quite a special thing for us to have this one here. I'll tell you a little bit about the car in general, and then we'll dive more in depth about the specifics of this example here. So, again, the GT4RS, the most kind of, race-ready version of a Cayman. The GT4 non-RS is kind of that middle ground, a little bit more usable day to day. The RS throws out some comforts in order to just, again, be as fast as it can be. It gets a lot more aero, I'll say, than the GT4 does. You notice the louvers on the front fenders, probably the most noticeable difference right away. The front bumper is going to be different. The NACA ducts on the hood, quite noticeable as well, really having a dramatic impact there too. And of course, the big rear wing out back. A GT4 would have a wing too, but nothing quite to the level of this one. It has the swung neck rear wing, much like we saw in the 992 GT3, and then out back that rear diffuser, again, very aggressive, very obvious functional aero back there, and the car just looks so impressive and so purpose-built. But let me tell you about this specific example, as it is quite heavily optioned. We'll start with the outside, and then we'll move in. So I'll start with the color, I guess. This is Arctic Gray, fairly new color for us. It's only been around for a year or so, and it's been quite popular so far. It's quite a neat color. I think it suits this car well. Porsche did a lot of the kind of vehicle launch media in this color, so it's I think kind of well paired with the car. Also significantly, you may notice, if you've already done your research on these cars, that this one has the WISAC package that it seems just about everybody wants or figures they need to have. What that does is dial up that dial of extreme that much further, and gives you a bunch more carbon fiber, saves weight again, and just makes it that much more wild. So you can see, of course, the carbon fiber hood. As well, this one, these side intakes too are carbon fiber, another striking visual part of that WISAC package, and they're really cool to stand next to. Even as it's static here, it's pretty cool, but when you fire up the engine and actually hear that air coming in, you can really hear and feel it if you're revving the engine. If someone's revving it and you're standing next to it, it's quite something. Obviously, if you're in the driver's seat and it's moving, it's the same experience with the window down. It's quite a visceral experience. But again, content on this one. So the WISAC package is here. Also, the 20-inch GT4RS wheels in forged magnesium, another big weight-saving effort there. Quite a cool wheel. These ones are painted in what is it? Indigo blue. Right, indigo blue is what it's called. Looks really neat. Pairs well with the Arctic Gray. And then, of course, you see those bright yellow brake calipers in there. That indicates that it has the Porsche ceramic composite brakes. So beyond outstanding braking performance, if you're going to go to the level of a GT4RS, you should probably go to the very top level of braking performance too, which the original owner of this one did. So nice to see those brakes on there. Not only do they have exceptional stopping power, but also no brake dust and all those other benefits too. Again, lighter weight also. Other stuff outside I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, you can't necessarily see this, but this one was optioned with the front axle lift, so that does make it a little bit more usable, at least easier to pull in and out of your driveway and into the garage. I don't imagine you would be going to the grocery store too much in this one, but if you did need to, it'll be a little bit easier to do so without scraping the front end with that option added. So then moving on to the inside, again, very kind of familiar GT car stuff in there, combinations of leather and Alcantara. Having the WISAC package, it also has the full carbon bucket seats with those WISAC emblems on the seats, as well as on a plaque is the word I'm looking for on the dash. What's also unique here that we don't really see in any of our other cars is the Race Tex upper dash. Porsche has never really done that before. Typically when you have the race techs, or formerly Alcantara, it's on the lower part, leather up top. But with this, and a couple of cars recently, I guess, they've kind of switched to doing that on the upper dash, which makes it feel, again, a little bit racier, a little bit more unique and special. This one also has the Sport Chrono package, which is an option. Some people figure it's standard on these cars, but it's not, but worth adding for sure, to have that stopwatch on the dash and complete that look in there. As well, the steering wheel was switched from the standard race text to leather, which I'm always a big supporter of. I understand on one hand the argument for kind of that grippier, racy feeling steering wheel, but the leather does just age much better and it requires a lot less maintenance. So I think that was a good move there. And then the steering column in this case was optioned to be leather wrapped as well. And then other content inside, things like the deep sea blue seat belts to match that kind of two-tone bluish interior. The fire extinguisher was option 2, which I like to see on these RS cars. Makes it feel, again, a little bit more racy. This one was really maximized in that sense. The Racetech sun visors, so the headliner will be Racetech's, but the sun visors would have been vinyl as standard, so I like that match of material that they did. And then you'll also have a carbon fiber trim that will come in here automatically, but this one was optioned to also have the carbon fiber door sills that are illuminated, so when you open the door it does light up, telling you, GT4 RS in bright yellow, which is pretty neat and I think pretty exciting. I think that's just about all of the options that I wanted to discuss on this one, but it is quite a special car, and if you want to know a little bit more about it or dive into the specs, do give us a call or pay us a visit and come down and take a look in person. Thanks so much for watching.